trip back in time for some Hendersonville students. They met a former president, Abraham Lincoln. That was all with the help of Dennis Boggs.
Hannah McDonald shows us how the Middle Tennessee historian shares Lincoln's lessons with elementary students.
Schools only had one room. Students of all ages learned the same lessons at the same time.
Generations ago, a single teacher in one room full of students was the norm.
My first teacher was a man named Zachariah Riney.
One-room schoolhouses may have become obsolete. What hasn't? Learning from one person's experiences.
Have you ever had a real good idea that turned out not to be a good idea? Oh, yeah.
Abraham Lincoln visited Gene Brown Elementary School Wednesday, 1 week after what would have been his 211th birthday.
The next time you have a real good idea, you need to think it through all the way to the end.
He talked a lot about his childhood.
My family left Kentucky when I was just 7 years old. We moved to Indiana the very week that territory became a free state.
Even more talk about the Civil War.
As the president, I did everything I could. I called for soldiers, I blockaded all the southern ports, and I began taking other measures necessary to prepare this country for a war to preserve our union.
But what he said about the lessons Lincoln learned along the way may have meant the most.
I know that right here in this school, there's probably somebody that at some points called you an ugly name. It happens, I know it does. I don't want you to remember what they did to you, but I do want you to remember how it made you feel. You see, boys and girls, people remember you not for how much you say, but what you say.
What about it just keeps you coming back?
They do.
Dennis Boggs is Abraham Lincoln.
It's hard not to cry sometimes, you know. So, yeah. Because they want to know so much. They're just starving for this history stuff, you know. And that's my favorite part.
So in front of this one room full of students, Dennis left the next generation with this.
Every one of you is a voice of tomorrow. And it's into your young and capable hands that I leave the future of the whole world. With that, boys and girls, I bid you an affectionate farewell.
In Hendersonville, I'm Hannah McDonald, News Channel 5.